Welcome to Mildly Thriving. I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Meredith. We're two average millennials who aren't failing, but aren't always thriving either. And we're out to prove that mildly thriving is thriving enough.
Please make sure you're subscribed and following us on the social medias.
And if you're feeling really nice, you could give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts.
Now, let's dive into this week's episode. Hi, Meredith.
Hi, Kimberly.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, apparently my voice is annoying, so...
Only when you do that. And let's be honest.
Only all the time.
You don't actually talk like that.
Yeah, it would be annoying if I did.
That makes me think. I have a question.
Oh, what's that?
Do I mumble? Am I hard to understand sometimes? Do I talk too quietly?
I don't think so. Why? Did someone tell you that you're a mumbler?
Mm-hmm. Why can't I think of who said that recently?
Do you need to tell them to turn up their hearing aid?
Maybe. I have this fear of being too loud, and I have been told, especially if I've been drinking, that my volume increases, and I'm not necessarily aware of it. So I think I have this fear of being too loud. But I was told recently that, it was on my girls' trip. We were talking in the car. And I was told that I don't project very well, and mumble's not the word, but it's like I'm talking under my breath. Like I don't realize that I'm like not projecting very well.
Were you in the back seat?
No, I was in the front seat. It started as a conversation of the person in the back seat couldn't hear me, and like, which totally normal. But they both said like, yeah, it is hard to hear you sometimes. And I thought about it, and it happens to me at work a lot, especially during presentations. I think I'm being like way too loud, and I'm not doing it consciously. But I have been told during multiple presentations, Meredith, speak up. And I'm like, I didn't think
I'm yelling.
I feel like I'm yelling. And so I was just curious if I am a mumbler or if it's hard to understand me sometimes.
From my point of view, I have a really hard time understanding anyone anyway. So,
it's just par for the course.
Yeah. Like yesterday, I started volunteering in a friend's classroom.
I love this so much.
Yeah. And yesterday was the first day, and she teaches like, it's special education, but these are kids that just need a little extra one-on-one help. My friend went around the classroom and said, all of you, introduce yourselves so that Kimberly knows who you are. I heard two of them. They'd be like, I'm Sano and I'm senior. And I'm like, okay. Hi.
It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah. What?
Whoever you are.
What?
It's like the girl from Pitch Perfect. Have you seen Pitch Perfect?
Yeah.
Where she's like whispering. She's like, and it's like, if you're listening well enough, like she says some random shit every time, but she's whispering it.
Yes, I remember that.
It's like, I did a turn of county. I ate my twin in the womb.
I killed my husband.
It's like, wait, what?
What?
I'm not getting anything.
That's pretty much what happened. So,
cool story, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to recap what we did last weekend?
Sure. What did we do? Oh, never mind. Yes, we do. Somebody asked me yesterday what I did last weekend, and I like struggled for a good minute of like, I don't remember what I did. And then I was like, oh, I went to a hockey game. And then I trailed off and was like, you're not the person I should be having this conversation with, because I think I was at like a coffee shop or something random. I was like,
and then
no.
My friend almost shit in her car.
Yes. Guys, gals, everyone, it almost happened. I thought it was going to happen.
I also thought it was going to happen. Yeah.
I thought I was going to hold Kimberly's hand while she shit in an alley in downtown Seattle. But I'll let her tell you the details.
Yeah. So I started taking a new medication, and apparently you can't eat greasy food, which I now know. And we had gone to a bar and ordered fried cheese curds, which is always a great idea and would never make anyone sick, even on the most normal of stomachs,
They
correct?
were so good, but I mean, we were all feeling it. We had mac and cheese,
Yeah.
chicken strips,
Yeah.
and cheese curds.
Yeah. It's kind of like what did you expect?
Yeah.
And then we went to the Seattle Torrance hockey game,
Which was fantastic.
which was fun. Well, it would have been better if there was like some scoring, but
It,
other than that, it was fine.
it ended up, it was 1-1.
Yeah, then they lost
I
in
know, but
in a
they,
shootout
yeah, but
or
they
not
gave
a
it a
shootout.
hell. Yeah, it was like a sudden death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are such violent terms.
terms. And
Um
Brandy Carlisle dropped the puck. Like, that was
yeah.
cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know that Kimberly knows who Brandy
I
Carlisle is because
I
she lives under
do.
a fucking rock,
I
but
do know who that is. I thought I had
okay.
been listening to some of her music and it turns out I was wrong, but I was
A step in the right
familiar.
direction.
I
Okay.
recognized the name. Um, but yeah, then, as we are getting ready to leave, I was
Oh,
like,
wait. No, back up.
what?
We were having the best time, and Kimberly wasn't even drinking, and it was us and another friend, and me and the other friend had been drinking, and then Kimberly, stone sober, was like, let's go get flash tattoos. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
you don't have to tell me twice. Like, I'll get anything you want. And then we're like riding this high of like, this is so much fun. Let's go get tattoos. And then we start leaving, and I was like, so are we getting tattoos? And then
I was like, I don't feel so good. And I had like gotten like hungry and then I got kind of nauseous and then we're like walking to the car and I was like, I don't like this feels weird. Then we get in the car and we're driving to leave Seattle and it's like, oh,
and
this isn't good. And you know that you're in downtown Seattle, you're not going to find a bathroom. You can't go into a gas station. You can't like
it's like your typical large metropolitan downtown where it's nothing but one ways and there's zero place to park, even if you did find a bathroom. And we're just like, and it was just like, guys, this is happening. And we're
yeah,
like,
it was like, yeah,
oh,
like I'm starting to sweat and I'm really hot and like, and I'm holding it in because I'm like, I can't trust a fart. Like, I don't know. And, my friends didn't bring their gas masks. And so I was like, guys, I- I'm starting to get panicked and flustered. And so then I'm like, find me a place. And then I'm like, I can. And I turn around the corner. You're like, there's an alley. And then our other friend is like, oh, that's a one way. And then, I turned on the wrong way on a one way. And
but there were no cars coming, and
there
we
were no
we were
cars.
fine. We got into the alley.
And I got out of the car and I was like, okay, this is happening. And like kind of like standing up made my tummy feel a little bit better. And then I
She before she got out of the car, she goes, somebody find me some napkins. And I was like, okay. And she has like a new car, so it's like, oh my god, it's like perfectly clean in here. Thank god there were some thank god for Starbucks. There were some Starbucks napkins on the ground. My whole glove compartment is filled with Starbucks napkins
mine used to
for
be.
this reason.
Yeah, mine used to be, and I've gone through all of them. So I need to restock the car. Um but then
I,
I get out of the car and I'm in the alley and then there's a security guard that starts to walk by and I'm like,
she's freaking out. I was like, dude, I'll talk to him. We'll say we lost your cell phone. We're just looking for it.
and
It's
he's like,
fine.
why is she shitting? She lost her cell phone.
It's fine. She lost it
Always gets her
inside of her.
diary.
She swallowed it, so we're figuring it out right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
this got a little weird there for a
uh,
minute.
but it was like some young kid, and like I think as soon as he saw that we were normal-looking non-crackheads, that he was just like, "Oh, this is fine. I'm just gonna keep on walking." He didn't even approach us. He just like smiled and nodded, and I was like, "Have a great night." And then Kimberly panicked and was like, "I
Oh
can't
yeah,
shit here."
I can't. And so then I said, find me a bathroom. We're like within like 2 blocks. And our other friend found like a bar, but it had a line out the door.
Because Saturday night in Seattle.
Yeah. And so then I was like, that's not going to work. Like, I don't have time to stand in line. So then she finds another place, and it's like this high end darts place. And I ran in. You know, I may have like mowed some people over. But
But
I made it. I get into the bathroom, and then the girls are like, "There's no toilet paper in there," and I was like, "Fuck!" So I went, and then, yeah,
can since we're here, can I share um the best text message thread I've ever received in my life that I'm going to save forever?
yep, 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 yeah,
Okay. We had a group chat going for the weekend,
for
uh
the 3 of
for
us
the
that work
three of us.
together, yeah.
And, uh Kimberly says, "It's flowing," or no, she says, "OMFG, it's flowing out of me like lava." And I just sent like a bunch of skulls back. And she says, "I'm dying, period. 100%." And then our other friend says, "Glad we found you a real bathroom then." And then a couple minutes goes by and Kimberly says, "Y'all should get drinks, period." Next message. "Maybe sleeping bags and pillows." And that was when we ordered drinks and we're like, well, I hope she's okay. Good luck to her. And then she comes out. We have a conversation about how she's feeling and what we think happened, because we did forget to mention that she also had an ice cream cone at the
Mm,
hockey game. So she was
yeah,
really, really testing the boundaries of her medication.
sure did.
And thank God, thank God our friend and I ordered a drink, because then we had to stay for a minute to finish our
Yes.
$18 drinks.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Sorry about that.
no, they were delicious, and it's standard around here, but I did think it was funny. It's advertised as a fucking darts bar, and you walk in and it's like, it looks like a hotel fancy
Yeah, like
bar with
glitzy,
some
like,
dart boards in the back.
yeah, it was like 1920s inspired, like, Great Gatsby kind of esque.
And everyone there was 15 years younger than us, but it's fine.
For sure. And
I'm
we
not
were
mad at it.
also like in our like jeans and like our pride shirts because it was pride night at
At the game.
yeah, so we just looked like somebody's mom basically.
Like
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
looked
Yeah.
like, so I wore those same pants and the jean jacket that I had on over my
Oh yeah, yeah.
shirt
Mhm.
to work the next week. And as I'm putting it on, I was like, did you ever see The Parent Trap?
Yes.
I look like Jessie from The Parent Trap.
Wasn't it? Isn't her name Chessie?
Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
Chessie?
or like Thethy? Thethy? No, I swear to God, it sounds like Jessie, but it's like Chessie or Cessy or
I have to look it up now. But
yeah,
I was, anyways, n- I looked like a soccer mom.
yeah.
Um, what was the name of the nanny in The Parent Trap? It's Chessie with a CH.
Did I just blow your mind?
Yeah, I've been telling everyone I look like Jessie, and maybe they don't know what I'm
And
fucking
they're like,
talking about.
"Who?"
Oh, whatever. I know, and I don't care.
Yeah. So, so then you all sat down and had drinks, and I
Oh,
sat
yeah.
there and rehydrated a little bit, and waited for round 2. And round 2 came, and then I sat in the bathroom and heard people come in, and they're like, "My God, it smells in here."
She was texting us again. She's like, "Everybody's talking about how bad it smells in here, and I feel bad." It's like,
I did. I felt
nah,
really bad.
we've
Yeah.
all been there, and if anybody wants to make you feel bad, then I
Then we'll just leave.
text them to shit their pants.
Yeah. I had my like spritz hand sanitizer, and I just like sprayed it, used half the bottle in the
Just spray it in the toilet, and it'll, like, create a film on top of the
yeah, it's like poopery
yeah.
except it kills bacteria. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was my fun experience. And I hope
We'll
that
be talking about it forever.
yeah, I hope that never happens ever again. I think our other friend really enjoyed watching me sweat, but I think everyone is relieved that I did not shit my pants and then spend 50 minutes then in the car
I,
to
I
go
will
home.
s- I will say, like, I am a good and supportive friend, or at least I like to think so. And I never would have made you feel bad, and I would have done everything I could to help you because I that sounds like a horrible position to be in. But I was genuinely worried about the prospect of driving 45 minutes in a shit
Myself
smelling
included.
car.
Yes, myself
Be
included.
Not because I don't love you as a friend, but because I know how strong my gag reflex is and how weak my stomach is when it comes to smells. And I was like, are we going to be going highway speeds and I'm going to have my head out the window for 45 minutes?
Yes, you definitely would have had
Yeah.
to. Yeah. So,
Good.
thank you for being supportive. You're welcome that I did not shit my pants.
Thank you. And thanks everyone for coming along this journey. We continue to say that we're a podcast about mildly thriving in life, but we continue to prove that we're just a podcast about almost shitting our pants, which
Yeah,
is
like
really a good barometer of mildly thriving.
I agree. I agree. And this was a reminder that my days are numbered.
I think about it all the time.
So, yeah.
Those muscles are weakening by the day because I'm getting older and
Yes.
it
Yes.
will happen.
Okay, anyway, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about our do you
What do
want to
I want to talk about? What What are you telling me right now, Kimberly?
that was it. That's all I got for you.
Shit pants, shit
Yeah.
pants, shit story.
No. No, you want to know what we're talking about today?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about alcohol.
Oh, let her rip.
So, I don't know about you, but I drink way less than I did in the past.
Yes,
And I've had phases of like, oh, I'm not drinking a lot, and then I've had during the pandemic, it was like I was drinking 3/4 of a bottle of wine a night, like because like
I
what
think we were
else
all
was
just
there?
trying to like get through life,
Because like
and
what else was there to do? It also was like a signal for me to that like the work day was over.
oh yeah,
And so it's like, okay, like, and then I would put my AirPods in and like make dinner while drinking, a glass of wine. And then would have another one. And then, so, but I do think there is this cultural shift away from using alcohol. And I kind of wanted to talk about like the why. I did some research and found a few articles that were kind of talking about the actual numbers and um how things are shifting. So I thought
I
we
love
could just like chat about that.
I love this.
And we can give our own hypotheses of why we think that this is happening. So yeah.
Okay, okay. I have thoughts.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is I was watching a documentary about the history of Seattle. And one of the things that they went in and talked about was during Prohibition and alcohol became illegal and kind of the underground
Scene.
industry,
Yeah.
yeah, that shot up because of prohibition. And I paused it and I turned to Josh and I said, I think if prohibition happened now, I wouldn't I'd be like, well, whatever. But I said if they made weed illegal again, I would be I would be furious. But like alcohol, I'm like, I feel like whatevs.
Yeah. I Yep. I felt like that for a long time. I'm still trying to be good about the weed scenario, but I that's for different reasons. I think about it every day. I
Oh,
miss it every day.
oh.
It like it proves to me that addiction is real and that like you can be addicted to it. Uh
Mhm.
but also as I've gotten older, I think I've recognized that like a lot of my drinking motivation in the first place was social.
Mhm.
And so I have bottles of wine in my house that I haven't touched in ever because I
Yeah.
don't drink at home by myself hardly ever. And nowadays, like even going out, like I'll have one drink, but the only times that I like really push it are on cruises because it's like you've
You
got
bought
the
that
drink
drink
package
package.
and you're just like, I'm gonna get my money's worth. And but then, I'm very conscious of like, I'm not gonna take my medication and I'm not gonna mix a bunch of things together. So uh yeah, I definitely think about it more in general because I'm just like, how is this gonna affect me? And I notice how it affects me in so many different ways, how horribly I sleep after even having
Oh my god, yeah.
a couple of drinks. Because even the night in Seattle, I had 4 drinks total, but it was over a span of, like, however many hours.
Well, and
4?
then it even got extended because somebody got
Because of
sick.
pooping.
Yeah.
But I did not feel drunk or, like, barely tipsy by any means, and then the next day, I felt like dog shit and
Yeah.
was just like, "How? How?" So
I totally agree, and I've always been somebody who gets hungover, and, like, if I don't sleep well, then I feel even worse. So
yeah.
I was kind of like, well, day drinking is better because then you get to go to bed at a reasonable time, and then it's kind of like, "Why am I doing this to myself?" Like, I'm trying to do all of these things like working out and eating better, and then I drink so that I can have fun and have a little more social lubrication, and then I feel like shit for 2 days. Like, a couple weeks ago, I think I had 2 glasses of wine because I bought some white wine for a recipe that I was making, and I felt like shit for 3 days afterwards.
I
And I
do
was like,
think I think
"Why?"
wine's a different one too because of, like, how much sugar's in it. I don't do white wine anymore, like, if I can help it. It gives me pretty bad heartburn, and I
Mm,
do think it makes me feel worse. I do love red wine, though, and I think, uh, there have been many times in my life where I'm drinking socially because other people are drinking, not necessarily because I wanted something, but nowadays, I drink because I genuinely like what I'm going to drink. Like, it's rare that you're gonna find me downing something that I don't want because someone else is doing it. Um, but, like, I like the taste of cocktails. I genuinely like the taste of a dirty martini. I know that's probably weird for many people, but I do. And I love red wine. And if I drink something, it's usually because I genuinely like the taste of it.
yeah.
But which I'm sure is going to come up. Nowadays, there's mocktails for everything. I posted a picture recently of in my little monthly recap. There's like a neon green drink that I had when I went out, and that was a mocktail because I was driving home it was the day I was hanging out by myself. It was one of the best drinks I've had in a long time.
Mhm. I
So
love me a
freaking good.
mocktail. Like,
Yeah.
I would rather if somebody was like, "Here's literally like a martini or anything that tastes like alcohol, besides wine, or like a strawberry lemonade." I would rather like fresh squeezed lemonade, like, hell yes, I would rather have that. But the fact that alcohol kind of makes things feel a little woozy and like, so I don't know. The other thing for me that I don't like about drinking is that it just goes right through me. Like, I have
Oh.
to pee,
Oh, yeah.
and
I was like, do you shit? No.
no, um, but wine, specifically red wine, doesn't necessarily do that to me. And so I that's one of the reasons that I prefer it, is that I don't some of the time I don't end up, or most of the time I don't end up like, "Oh, well, I have to pee every 10 minutes," because
I think
that's
about
just
that.
so inconvenient.
Yeah, I think about that too, especially getting on flights because it's like
Yeah.
the standard is like, "Oh, let's have a drink at the airport," which I do like doing, because I like there is just the nature of being at the airport is anxiety inducing to me. That's why I always get an aisle seat because I know that even if I didn't have alcohol, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom, and I hate the idea of walking across 2 strangers to go to the bathroom multiple times or even once.
Yeah. No, I don't drink on flights, or, like, if I know I'm gonna have to be in the car, or, in situations where you don't have quick access to a bathroom. I'm like, "This is not this is not worth it to me. Like, I
Yeah.
don't I think I think I would drink a lot more if I was somebody with, like, a steel bladder, and
Yeah, I could see that for myself too. I like sometimes the positive effect of, like, having one drink and
Mhm.
being around your friends, and, like, a lot of studies that show that cultures that, like, drink socially and have that, like, regular social rapport with people, those cultures live longer.
Yeah. It's
And
the community aspect. I
yeah,
don't know that the
it's not
is the alcohol contributing to that in a positive way? I don't know, maybe,
but
but
it's not causing harm.
right.
Like, people are still living into their hundreds and having a glass of wine every single day. Now, does that mean that the wine is causing you to live longer? No, but it is proven that social interaction does.
Yeah. Okay, there's a couple articles that I found that were really interesting. And there was a Gallup poll survey, and I don't know exactly when it was, but it was fairly recent. And it found that 54% of US adults say they drink alcoholic beverages such as wine and liquor or beer. But that's lower than at any other point in the last 3 decades.
I believe that.
So in the entirety of, kind of our lives, that that has been this shift, and we're seeing it, we're feeling it within our circles, but it's a nationwide trend. The survey also found that many used to believe that moderate drinking was harmless, maybe even beneficial, but that belief is shifting. And even those who do drink are drinking less.
Mhm.
And so before the pandemic, the government data showed that alcohol was trending up, which I think is interesting. But they were seeing that less young people, so that Gen Z category, was drinking less. So about two-thirds of 18 to 34-year-olds believe moderate drinking is unhealthy, up from the 4 out of 10 in
Okay.
2015, which that's a decent jump, right?
Yeah.
And then it's saying that older adults are less likely to see alcohol as harmful. About half of Americans age 55 or older believe this, but that's a substantial increase too. In 2015, only 2 in 10 adults age 55 or older thought alcohol was bad for their health.
I have some guesses on that. Yeah.
Why? What are your guesses?
The generational differences in, like, health effects and, substance abuse, and recognizing substance abuse. I think psychology and mental health has come a long way in the last 50 years.
Mhm.
Uh, and nobody used to talk about their problems. They'd drink away their problems. And that's a very
100%.
extreme example, but, like, that's what you did, and that was normal. And I think I think a lot of people were functioning alcoholics and just nobody talked about it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think maybe this is the generation that is the children of those people that either saw it and took the same path, or saw it, recognized it, and went the opposite direction. And
Mhm.
I think we've been through enough decades of serious health effects of people drinking too much and seeing what it can do. And so people are choosing not to do that. Also, mental health is more of a topic these days and it's more accepted. And I think the younger generations are more willing to talk about the issues that they're going through instead of using something to mask it.
Right. Um,
And that is a very blanket reason. I
right.
realize that's a big generalization, but, like, those are just the thoughts that come into my head based on personal experiences with my own family.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about the mental health aspect. One of the things that came to mind is that the original survey in 2015, and then now this survey, a decade later, in that time, we've had a bunch of states legalize marijuana.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't smoke weed. Like, as a
I
teenager, I maybe did it a few times, but to me, it was kind of like the consequences are not worth getting high for a day, or whatever.
Well, yeah, and I worked in, emergency services for 10 years. Even when it became legal, I wasn't allowed to. I wouldn't have gotten a job. And
Yeah.
so it was still this very, like, foreign concept to me, and I had done it a couple times in, like, high school and college, and I just didn't I was like, "Oh, I'm way too anxious for this."
Yeah,
Uh,
and you're like, "I'm doing something so illegal," whereas, like, drinking was still kind of socially acceptable, like, you could get it, like, from your parents, like, you could get into
it
their
was
stash or, like, there was so much more access to it, whereas, like, weed would get you into so much more trouble.
not only was it more socially acceptable, it was socially encouraged.
Yes.
Like, you're like, for the longest time, you're weird if you don't drink.
Yeah.
I've experienced that far more than, uh, having a drink with people. Like,
Yeah, and I think
that's more
there's
accepted.
that's a shift that's coming,
Yeah.
or has happened is that when somebody says, "Oh, I don't drink," it's not like, "Oh, they clearly have a problem. That's the only reason that you wouldn't drink." And it's like, no, there's a lot of
No.
people that are just like, "No, I could take it or leave it." But I think that weed becoming legal in a lot of states, and then also um there was like the hemp bill a few years ago that happened that allowed um THC that's derived from hemp as long as it's below a certain percentage. But there were ways for people, even in states where weed was not legal, that they could get THC um, through the Delta 8 and Delta 9. And
Oh, that's right.
that's a thing that might be going away. But I think that weed becoming legal has played a big shift in this that maybe don't realize. Because
No,
if
I didn't even think of that, and that's I think it's probably true.
Yeah, because I know for me personally, if weed hadn't become legal, I probably never would have started using it or tried it.
Same. I
Because number 1, I can go to the store and I can buy it and I know exactly what I'm getting. There's, dosage and, it's in a package and I can portion it out. And you when you buy something from like a drug dealer, like, why the hell would I trust this drug dealer?
and I'm too anxious to do something like that anyways, like, I
Same.
would have done it in social situations, like, I'm not gonna pretend that I was smart enough to be like, "I'm gonna think about everything that's going into my body," because I wasn't, I was more concerned about peer pressure, and so I I
Like
would
me.
have done it if my boyfriend gave it to me or something, but, like, no, as I got older, I didn't start regularly smoking weed until I was like, what, 33, 34, and it was because my sleep schedule was so fucked up
Mm.
from working nights, and I was consistently working nights and trying to manage a social life with people who don't work nights or weekends, and so I was killing myself, and I needed help sleeping, and somebody gave me an edible, and I was like, "Am I gonna get in trouble for this?" Uh, but it was like magic. I was like, "Oh my god, I haven't slept like that in years." And I very quickly was taking it every day, and then I, left the law enforcement field and was no longer, like, worried about getting in trouble and was just like, "Oh, I can do whatever I want." And so I started smoking regularly and also taking edibles, and I was doing it every day. Uh, but but to your point, I was coming home and smoking weed like most people would come home and have a drink. Every
Yeah, so I think there's that you're kind of replacing one thing with another that's maybe a little less harmful, but still may not have like, I definitely think that marijuana has more benefits than alcohol, but it can still be something that isn't good for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's still addictive, it's still a drug, and it still alters your brain chemistry, and you still have to think about everything you put into your body, you know? I was trying to make a genuine effort to understand my brain and my body and how everything plays together, and so that meant starting from scratch,
Yeah.
and yeah, but do I miss coming home and smoking weed every day? Every day. I miss it every day.
Yeah, I had a friend for a while, like, we would get together, and that's that's what we did. It's like we would smoke a joint and, you know,
Watch
watch a
Vine compilation.
documentary. Yeah,
Yeah,
or
or
Vine
true
compilations.
crime.
Yeah, and I would just eat and gorge myself, and so it's like, "Okay, you can't that."
That was another thing.
Yeah, like, that's not good for you.
Yeah.
That's
And
that's
it's
unproductive.
in those moments, I do think it has benefits. Like, I miss being able to relax that way because I
Mhm.
am naturally high strung and I do
Yeah.
like I have a stressful job and life is stressful in general. And yeah, I it was a nice way to unwind, but it's like uncontrollable in the amount of not just the amount of food I want to eat, the type of food I want to eat. I'm not over
Mhm.
here
Oh, yeah.
gorging myself on carrots. It's like
I'm so high right now, I just want some baby carrots.
and shit, there are some times where I've like something sounded so good and I ate myself to the point of being so fucking sick.
Yeah.
And and it there was actually a time where I was like, "Oh, this it is proving to me the effect that weed has on that is like I was so full I was uncomfortable, but thinking about something that sounded good to eat, I still wanted to eat it,
Yeah.
which is crazy."
That appetite stimulation is real.
Ugh.
Like, do I wanna eat a whole box of Crumble? Yeah, I do.
Am I gonna feel good about it later?
No, no. So it's like a hangover from alcohol or a hangover from all of the shit that I ate. There have been times where I've been very conscientious and have a little more self-control, and it's like, "Okay, like, I'm just gonna, like, do some yoga, do some meditation, like, relax." And then there are other times where I'm like, "Oh my god, let's order everything." So,
Taco Bell.
oh, ooh,
Give me a Mexican
ooh,
pizza right now. No?
yeah,
Okay.
no. So,
Man, I'm kinda hungry now. I'm not
I
gonna
know.
lie.
It's like lunchtime.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I just thought that that was, like, such an interesting thing. But I do want to point this out that nicotine use is up with Gen Z.
Oh, fucking vape pens
Yep.
and Zins are everywhere because it's
Yep.
like because I do feel like there is a slight factor, a slight health factor. Like people are, I think, more conscious of what they put in their body nowadays, especially younger generations. But it was the cigarettes that are killing you because of
Yep.
all of the other shit that's in there. But I don't know that I mean, I've never used nicotine, so I
Yeah,
can't
me
say
neither.
anything.
That's because we were kind of that generation where like the public health initiatives to get people to not smoke were huge. And that was a huge cultural shift because you smoked on planes, you smoked in restaurants, people smoked in the doctor's office, at school. Like,
My grandma smoked from the age of 16 to the age of 70 something. But also, I had to watch both her and my paternal grandpa die of lung related diseases due to
yeah.
smoking. And so, like, I also had that, like, my grandma died of COPD and my grandpa died of emphysema. And, like, from a young age, my grandpa was like, y'all will never. He's like, I don't give a shit what you do, but I don't ever want to see you smoking. And I was just like, I don't, it, he didn't even have to convince me. Like, I didn't want to. It smelled bad. I never had the desire. And I'm so glad because I do, like, no judgment on my friends, but like, I have a lot of friends and relatives that like use the vape pens and the Zins, man. Like, it's going out of style and they're so expensive. And
Oh,
well,
really?
so is weed, but yeah, it's pretty expensive. I don't know what a pack of cigarettes costs now, but um, I think it's pretty outrageous from what it used to be, and I just I don't know. I don't like I see in social situations of like, "Oh, I have to make sure I bring my Zins with me, otherwise we're, like, stopping somewhere to get more," and I'm just like even with weed, I wouldn't have been like that. Like,
Mm-mm.
if I
No.
forgot it, like, oh well, but
Y- Yeah. No,
yeah.
nicotine is like super addictive and our generation was very much like no, no, and like nicotine patches were coming out and people were really trying to quit smoking and then smoking has been banned from all of these situations and now like I remember when I was in Europe a couple years ago, I was like, oh my God, there is so much smoking and people are smoking
I thought
in,
the same thing.
you
Everyone
know,
smokes in Europe
yeah,
still,
yeah, yeah. And it was like, oh,
but it's
okay,
all
this is,
hand-rolled cigarettes.
oh,
Like,
really?
everyone I saw had, like, the little hand-rolled cigarettes. Like, they had, like, bags of tobacco. Uh, but I also think I mean, they do this with weed pens too, but, like, who doesn't want to taste like strawberry banana or whatever it is that, like, all of the vape pens are flavored like now? Like, cigarettes stink, I think, and are
Yes,
fucking gross.
it's horrible.
Uh, but, yeah.
I actually went to the weed store this week and I literally bought a vape pen because it was so cute. I was like, I love the color. It says like tranquil on it. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. But I remember last year I pulled up in front of like a smoke shop and I was gonna go into like the UPS store next door and they had these like cute pink and like colored vapes and I was like, "Oh my God, those are so cute." And I was like, "Why you don't use Nick like don't start that."
But they're
Um
marketed to children.
yeah, I
Like,
was like,
that's
"That's
basically
so
like
cute."
yeah. It's like, "Oh, but I need that because it's pretty." Like,
It's adorable.
"Ooh, shiny. Ooh, piece of
Yeah,
candy." Yeah, that's a habit I'm glad I never picked up was nicotine, but
me too. Yeah,
yeah.
I
Uh, uh,
so yeah, I think that's such an interesting cultural shift and I wanted to hear what your perspective was on that, but then also share these kind of really interesting insights. And I'm very curious how Gen Alpha and Gen Beta are gonna treat alcohol and weed, especially now that it's been declassified as a schedule whatever to a schedule less drug.
yeah.
That's very scientific.
Mhm. I should know the answer to that, I don't, but I know
You
what you're
should.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am not anti-alcohol by any means, nor am I anti-weed. I'm pro either way, but, just like anything, I think,
Moderation is the key.
most of us have a problem with moderation, and that's where it goes wrong. So,
Yeah.
but, like, I don't want the option to not be there, but I do think it's cool that, like, mocktail bars or, like, I think I saw an article recently because I pay attention to stuff in San Diego now. San Diego's opening, like, an NA brewery.
To me, that doesn't make any sense.
I get it, but knowing more than one person who loves beer, I I get the motivation, like, if you
Yeah, I
genuinely
don't
like the flavor of beer, and there are
yeah,
certain situations that I do. I think my problem with beer is how full and
mhm.
bloated it makes me feel because
It's
I
like
like
eating
the
liquid
taste.
bread.
It is, but, like, I have such a hard time, especially having a meal and then having one, like, I like beer, but I don't want to feel gross for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I
So,
don't. I like cider, which I think is good, but, like, again, I have to pee every, 5 minutes, and it's just like, ugh, whatever.
yeah,
I can take
that
it
was
or
a
leave it.
that was a great topic choice. I love that.
Thank you. I thought it was interesting and having that thought of like, would I really care if I never had another drink? And I'm sure that if it was prohibited and you couldn't, I'd be like, what the fuck?
If
Like,
the option's not there, you want it more, like, that
right.
it does seem to happen.
I would miss wine.
I would too. I really enjoy a glass of red wine.
Yeah, but I wouldn't like if they were like no more hard liquor, I'd be like, okay. Like
Yeah, I think I could do without hard liquor too, but
and but yeah.
yeah.
So that was it. That's all I've got for you. So
Great. What a way to send us into the weekend and to a girls'
yes.
night.
Yes. I hope that you oh, yeah, I'll see you later tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note, I think this is a good reminder that mildly
Mildly
thriving
thriving
is
is
thriving enough.
enough.
Maybe we got it. I don't know.
I don't
We'll
fucking
find
know. I
out.
don't know anymore, but yeah.
I don't know.
Uh, uh.
All
Do.
right. That's it.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.